Now, before y'all get to asking questions and making assumptions, let me explain what's happening here. My girl wears a U-part wig, okay? The leave-out section, we have teeny tiny micro boho braids made with human hair. Human hair from the boho braids is the same human hair that's in the wefts on the U-part wig. You following me? So, since we're just taking out the braids under the U-part wig, we're keeping in the small braids in the leave-out section. But that hair also needs to be cleaned. So we're cleaning all of it, okay? All of it. That is it. That is all. Enjoy the video. I know this was supposed to be ASMR, but my girl and I had a lot to catch up on, so we was doing a whole lot of chit-chatting. And y'all nosy. Y'all already about to be reading lips trying to figure out what we was talking about. That ain't none of y'all business. You understand me? What I do have for y'all, though, is a client horror story. This story is not about the client in the chair. So I had a client who tried to sue me. This client just so happened to be my cousin. So my cousin's mom had booked the appointment for her. This was her first time getting a quick weave, so she wasn't really sure what to expect or what to do. I ended up telling her how much the install was going to cost, and I told her how much the hair was going to cost. At the time, the install was $100, the hair cost $100, so her total was $200. My cousin's mom texted me and said, hey, I sent her with the $200 so that you can get the hair and so that you can be paid for your services. When my cousin came in, she's like, oh yeah, my mom sent me extra money so I can pretty much get whatever I want. So I asked, well, how much did your mom send? She said she sent me $200. I said, no, that's the exact amount. So then I asked her to send me the money so that I can run to the hair store and buy the hair and I can be paid for my services. She sent me the money and then we got started with the process. So what we ended up doing was like a peekaboo look. We did some purple hair in the back and we did black in the front. She got a middle part, quick weave with leave out, and we had it bone straight. Throughout the process of doing hair, I'm always the type of person who explains the process just because it makes me feel more comfortable and I feel like it could make the client feel more comfortable. Sometimes when things are new, it's just a little comforting to know what to expect and what's going on. So throughout the entire process of the install, I was explaining to her, hey, I'm braiding it down. Hey, I'm putting a glue protector on. Hey, I'm putting a cap on. Hey, I'm going down the tracks. I was also explaining to her some things that she can do to keep the style up, maintain the styles. I was explaining to her different ways that she should tie her hair up at night. And I was explaining to her the products that she should use on her hair. Initially, she seemed very receptive to everything that I was saying, and she also agreed and also let me know that she also was interested in doing hair. That made me so excited because anytime somebody tell me they want to do hair and I'm a teacher by nature and then I do hair, I get super excited because now I feel like we can pick each other's brain. I can teach you some things. I can show you some things. I can explain some things to you. So that's literally what it became throughout the duration of her appointment. It became a bit of a tutorial at one point. Every track that I was laying, I was explaining to her how much glue I was putting on the track, where I was laying the track, why I was laying the track, and the specific place that I was laying it. She was getting so excited about the outcome, even learning about the different products and tools that I was using. The hair that I installed for her was Empire hair. And yeah, I don't know if you know about Empire hair, but to me, it's the best hair store hair that you can buy. Sometimes when they try to get you to buy the beauty supply store hair that's behind the counter, you can have issues with it, like shedding and tangling, and even it not being as full as you would like it to be. But I explained to her that in the beauty supply store, a lot of times that's the brand that they sell because they shop with their personal vendors and they can make the most money back off of it. Our conversation was so good, so informative. She even thanked me and said how helpful it was for her for even understanding hair, understanding the process, understand being a hairstylist. We went on and on about being professional and how it's important for safety and sanitation. We also discussed some of the needs and requirements for going to beauty school and passing state board. When you go to state board, they don't really teach you a lot about black hair. It's safety and sanitation and it's professionalism. That's great to have, but as a black hairstylist, you need to know more than that. So I explained to her in the midst of doing her hair that when you go to beauty school and you obtain your cosmetology license, it's also good to go to continuing education classes, as well as just taking classes from any and everybody who's offering classes. Even if you don't get continuing education hour credits for it, it's still good information to know. When you invest in yourself and your information, your knowledge, and in your craft, it makes it so much better for you as a person, as an individual, to make your money back, as well as increasing your prices because now you've added value to your services. We enjoyed so much about the conversation throughout her appointment. By the end of the appointment, we were both feeling good. When she looked in the mirror, she loved her hair. And again, I doubled down on hair care tips, hair care products, hair care tools. Once the install was complete and all of the hair was in, we talked about cutting layers into hair and what it does with forming the face, as well as when the hair is being curled, how great that looks. We even talked about the difference between a quick weave and a sew-in, and I explained to her the difference in what tools that you need and the quality of the hair. I let her know that you can sew in cheaper hair. It's not a problem, but if it's cheaper hair, it's not going to last that long anyway, and a quick weave can last you about a month or two if you take care of it properly and if you have decent hair. Now, prior to her install, we did shampoo her hair, blow dry her hair. I braided it down. I had to mold it. But throughout this entire process, we were talking about the things that could go right and the things that can go wrong with a quick weave. She asked me about tracks slipping out and if I felt that it would be better for her to have a sew-in so that the tracks don't slip out. I explained to her that I've done so many quick weaves before and no one's ever had any issues with tracks slipping out. I also explained to her that sometimes in the nape area, because that hair is always pressing up against the neck, pressing up against the collar of the jacket or the coat or whatever it is that you're wearing, sometimes it can feel like it's gonna lift. Because it's a quick weave and the cap is not glued to the scalp, the cap is not glued to the hair, sometimes the cap itself, just in the nape area, can lift. It can just move, it can shift. It doesn't mean it's going anywhere, it doesn't mean it's falling off. It just sometimes means once the hair is dry, the small hairs at the nape of the head can detach from the cap. Again, not saying that the tracks are going anywhere, not saying that the style is going anywhere. It's just normal wear and tear of a quick weave. She said she understood, she agreed, and she was excited about the install. Once we were all done and her hair was straightened, we had her layers cut in, her leave out was blended to perfection, her edges were fleeked down. We took so many pictures and videos. She even did a couple TikTok videos to showcase the hairstyle. She tagged me in all of these pictures and videos while she was sitting in a chair saying she loved her hair so much. Once she was finished, she called her mom and she said, "Hey mom, she's done with my hair. I need you to send me the money to pay for it." Her mom said, "Well, honey, I already sent you $200. That should have covered it." She told her mom, "Oh no, that wasn't enough. The hair cost more and the install was more." Mind you, I'm still sitting here and I'm like confused because we had already had this conversation. She had already sent me the money, so I wasn't quite sure where she was going with this. Her mom ended up asking to speak to me, and when she gave me the phone, I was completely honest. I said, "I'm not sure what she's talking about. She already sent me the $200, so you don't owe me anything." And her mom said, "That's funny because she just asked me to send her more money, saying that it wasn't enough." I said, "Well, I don't know what she's asking for that money for, but it is not for me. But she's done. You can come pick her up. You don't owe me anything. I said, we love tips around here as hairstylists, but it's not a requirement. We laughed it off. She came to pick her up. She loved the hair. About a week later, I reached out and said, hey, just checking in. I know this was your first time. Just making sure you still love it. Wondering if you have any questions about it or anything. She said, I love my hair. It's perfect. 2 days later, the owner of the salon reaches out and says, hey, we have a complaint here. It's actually a filing for a lawsuit, but it's in your name. It came to us as the salon owners because we own the business, although you are an independent contractor here. Is there anything you have to say in response to this? Once they gave me the details, they let me know who it was from and what it was about, I was so confused. I'm like, I just talked to her. I sent them over all of the text messages and all of the reels and TikToks and everything that was made to prove like, hey, I did do her hair. She did love her hair. And she just told me she had no problems with it. And so I was a little hesitant to reach out to her directly because even though she's my cousin, she insisted on trying to sue me without even telling me anything that was going on. So once the owner of the salon sent me over the report, in the report, she said that the hair was falling out. She didn't know what to do. She tried to contact me, but I would not return her calls. In the report, she also tried to sue me for the $100 install, for $100 for the hair, and then another $1,500 for, she called it pain and suffering and wasting her time. The owners just simply asked me how I want to respond, and I said, I'm going to show you exactly what she said to me. It was nothing of which what we're hearing right now. So the owner and I had a little back and forth, just explaining my side, them explaining their side, me explaining both sides, them explaining both sides. And then we came to the conclusion that my cousin is out here tripping. My cousin was trying to get over on everybody involved in the situation. And she manipulated her mom. She manipulated her grandma. She manipulated me. She manipulated the courts. Her mom had to pay a lawyer to get this case set up. Her mom lost money because at the end of the day, once I sent in all of my receipts from my part, they threw it out. They said I didn't owe her a dime. They also said that it was a waste of time for them to even try to sue me. And they asked them, why didn't you just go to her, being that you all are family, and have a conversation with her to see if you all can work out the matter? Her response was, she's too confrontational. I'm sorry, what? Come again, say what? We just talked a week ago. We just talked a week ago. You said you loved it. You said you love it here. You said you would be back. So a week after I get the filing for them trying to sue me for all of this money, the owner reaches back out and they said, hey, the case was closed. The judge reviewed all of the information and they went in your favor. They went in my favor. Realized that my cousin was trying to scam. They realized that my cousin's mom may have just been in on it, even though it didn't seem like it initially. For them to go to the extreme to try to sue me. Her reasoning was she went to homecoming, she went to a dance, she went to a party, and she went swimming, and she tried to put her hair in a high ponytail. And the back track that was on the cap started to lift. Not the track itself, just the cap. The cap came off the nape of the head, which I told her this is something that could happen. It doesn't mean it is going anywhere. It doesn't mean it is falling out. She said she understood, so I was so confused. After the shenanigans of the lawsuit was over and the judge went in my favor, my cousin's mom tried to reach out to me and ask me what happened. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to tell her because I thought we had discussed everything through the courts. I think after a while, she started to feel bad, realizing that her daughter was, in fact, trying to scam the both of us. But to this day, being that this is 2025, that happened in 2017, they're so embarrassed, they don't want to talk to me. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with that because what? Y'all just tried to play me right in my face. And I'm not the type that's going to keep the drama going or nothing like that. You want to be done? Cool. To try to sue your cousin is insane to me. Being that I had been doing her hair since she was literally 4 years old. I'm the only person that has ever done her hair. Us doing the quick weave was just us trying something new because she was getting into hair. But I had always been her hairstylist. And I just feel like trying to take advantage of everybody, it really just tarnished everyone's relationship. And I really hate that for us. So that was the time my cousin tried to sue me. My cousin was my hairstylist and she tried to sue me. But it failed because your girl be on her stuff. And as a hairstylist, you have to. It doesn't matter if they're friends, if they're family. You have to take before pictures. You have to take after pictures. You have to have conversation through text messages so that you have proof of what transpired. Put in the comments below what you would do if your cousin tried to sue you. Love you. Bye.